Whiz invents slur.
I mean, yeah, no, let's not go there. Let's just start the episode when you're ready.
Yeah. Alright, wait, so are you not doing an intro thing, or?
Oh yeah. Hi, I'm I'm Nemesis, and I'm very dumb, and that is Vivid.
You better, like, have the video start with me saying Wiz invents slur.
I will, just because you told me to.
Okay.
I've been up the entire day just ghosting everything on Discord to avoid spoilers just for this moment. So let's get to watching Jinx versus Harley Quinn. I'm blanking on everything today apparently.
Alright, shall I start now?
Yeah. Oh, on YouTube, the episode is Harley Quinn versus Jinx, Batman versus League of Legends. Which oh no!
Is that a Fortnite model?
Why couldn't that? Oh. Fuck off! Fuck off!
Alrighty, this is like a 10 out of 10.
Oh my god, I hate this so much.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
No, he's not. No, you're not.
Their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
We live in this. Is fuck's sake.
Born to a
I've actually been working on my own society.
Oh my god, Wiz versus Rick Sanchez is now thematic. I mean, probably already was if you wanted it to be, but
I mean, they have both said slurs before.
felt like she fit in anyway.
They are
But
both
despite this,
assholes.
Harley knew she was destined for greatness.
So, inspired by a childhood crush turned psychotic murderer, Harleen spent years training to be a world-renowned criminal psychiatrist, eventually traveling to Gotham City.
Damn, already the episode got you going to sleep.
It's Harley Quinn. How am I supposed to give a shit?
Batman's arch nemesis, the Joker.
Nemesis.
Oh
Nemesis
yeah, I
Joker.
was about to, and I thought that would not be funny to say. So I'm glad you.
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be funny. I just don't have a filter.
The Joker was actually a misunderstood angel squashed
Oh,
down by an
Like, are you aware of what Boomstick says in the Jinx preview?
I've not seen it.
This was the first.
Right. Well,
That should show you how little I give a shit about this episode.
Reflection of herself
you'll see when I cheer.
culminating in her breaking him out of prison, bleaching her skin via chemical
Oh, he said
baptism,
something about
and
fucking
joining
crystals,
his
didn't he?
life.
I'm guessing that's what it fucking is.
Descending into love like madness and
Don't worry about it.
as the
This is an episode involving a Batman character, and you're popping off for something. It's gotta be magic crystals.
hammer, electric buzzers, and bombs of all shapes and sizes, like the dreaded banana cream pie, the most evil of all pies.
Regular show footage. Let's go.
Of course, it had to be a scene of war.
which she straps rockets to.
I've actually been.
Speaking of unsafe, Harley's most
What?
versatile tool
What?
is her
Okay.
pop gun. A rotating
They're working Ringmaster in now?
I don't dislike this immediately.
boxing glove. Whoa, whoa, close one. And binding confetti. Whee! And did I mention explosive rounds? Which oh no. Ah, my leg is gone. Oh no. Oh wait, there it was. I'm fine. I'm gonna go.
Harley combines her
I mean, that didn't make me
unparalleled
laugh, but I didn't hate it.
skills, making her far deadlier
It's better than the first cutaway from last season. So you know this has something over Yoda versus Mickey already.
The peak human
Yeah, it's also
superhero
Ringmaster
can
being
dodge
better
lightning and survive
used.
This alien device exploding,
Of
which
course.
obliterated
Use that
multiple
feed
city
again.
blocks.
Whoa, that's pretty crazy.
Peak human just a bit. But hey, he's the goddamn Batman, so we'll allow it.
Unfortunately,
What? No, what, did Batman just slur? Did Batman just have a little bit of a slur
the
there?
time period did not last. He spent years abusing
Oh
her,
god, I
physically
just
and
heard Wiz say
emotionally, tearing her
period in
down
relation to a
piece
female,
by
and I just started just
Then,
crying
bored,
inside.
Nemesis Bloodrick
Oh.
said female.
Across Gotham City. Guess that's one way to say, no,
It's
no, it's
sensitive,
not
but
you,
no.
it's me.
People are gonna think I said something else.
Harley was left alone in the wreckage, abandoned by the one person she dedicated her entire life to.
Maybe you shouldn't have been so
Until
fucking
Bella
stupid,
Village, Poison
dumbass.
Ivy came by. She nursed Harley back to health, literally healing her from a damaged relationship. Ivy even gave Harley a chemical concoction that granted her superhuman strength and a healing factor.
I suppose
Of course she has a healing factor.
like your own superpower in and of itself.
Yeah, and those two definitely seem like very
I mean, to be fair, they gave Broly a healing factor because he was injured at the end of one movie and fine at the start of the next, so really, at this point, basically any character can have a healing factor.
She worked on developing new skills.
I mean, everyone has a healing factor, it just depends on how quickly it works.
That's not true, some people might just die instantly.
Instantly strong.
And creating tons of her own chemical concoctions, like tranquilizers and sleeping gases that can incapacitate metahumans. She even
Yeah, sleeping gases that can put you to sleep.
This deadly substance infects the laughter centers in a person's brain and forces them to
As
laugh
is the Joker venom.
Yeah.
Harley was clearly on
Cool,
top
that's
of
gonna
the
be our
world,
win.
but nothing caps off self-improvement like a Rocky Balboa training montage. So Harley went to Themyscira of all places to get a combat.
I mean, I'm not disliking it, I just don't care.
I'm enjoying myself. Like, this is fine.
It's fine, like, it's nothing special.
She became agile enough to jump between skyscrapers and strong enough to rip an entire palm tree out of the ground with her bare hands. Based on the size of the tree and the weight of an average...
Oh my god, she
Suddenly
actually lifted the whole tree off the ground!
Suddenly I'm glad I was not in the watch party with Ducko and Adam. I don't know if Adam was there, but I expect there would have been some scrummy moments going on.
I'm just not gonna address that, but you're absolutely right. Oh yeah, I remember that. I'm glad they didn't,
I've never read a comic.
I'm glad they didn't dwell on that because it was stupid.
She partnered up with other heroes, became a psychiatrist again, and legitimately started helping other
Catman.
It's the
What?
goated Catman.
who
Adam West from Fairly Odd Parents? Holy shit.
The Bat family, including Superman, apparently.
Superman.
Teaming up with her to save Gotham from her toxic ex. Good for her. Guess we're not going to talk about when she went back to the Joker a couple times, huh?
in the end, she
Please
may be
don't.
a little nutty, but you'd be mad not to
A
love
little
Harley
nutty.
Quinn.
Alright, she only like, but she's got no ending clip apparently.
The world of
I think we may just be stopping that now because copyright.
technology, arcane magics, and legendary champions.
Saitama vs. Popeye didn't have them after they re-edited it.
Turmoil. For decades, Piltover's rich elite
Feels a bit
exploited
incomplete
the
without it,
undercity
but
of
I
Zon,
get it.
forcing workers
Wait, but
to
if it's on the Rooster Teeth website, I don't.
terrifying
To save them from having to make two different edits, I guess. But then again, they also have to add the advertisements. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like, I mean, I guess it makes sense that they would not be bothering to put any effort into something for the Rooster Teeth website because let's be honest, it would be a first.
Destroyed Zeppelins. You might
Fucking
get
hell.
out of the local zoo and switch the street signs. What a monster! Now
Holy
those
shit,
monkeys
she's
will
terrible.
Never find their way back.
Only the enforcer.
Yo, is that Hugh Man?
But even armed with massive
Yo, is that
gauntlets weighing
Yang
over
Xiaolong?
4,000 pounds each, Vi could not definitively overcome Jinx's
That's an insult.
mechanical monstrosity.
Yeah.
Man, they're so evenly matched. It's almost like they're related.
This was an extremely close match, Boomstick.
I hope Vi whatever her name is, never gets on Death Battle, because then I'm just gonna voice her as Yang, and Sai's gonna kill me.
Magnificent.
But Jinx's favorite weapon is her Fishbones rocket launcher. So much so, she rides it like a rocket-powered pogo stick. Well, that seems
She
even less
becomes the
safe.
Joker.
Don't let her manic attitude fool you. Not only is Jinx tough enough to take a hit from Braum, a guy who can shake mountains with a punch, but she's wicked smart. Almost all her gear is custom made. She's even recreated Hex Tech, funky science-powered
Wow.
crystals. Ooh.
Magic crystal.
Fuck.
Teleportation device. Oh, my bad. Is that League of Legends? What a coincidence.
Oh no.
Hold the phone.
Please,
Are you talking about League of Legends over there?
Fucking go.
That game.
I would love this way more if that was Raid Shadow Legends in the back.
League of Legends is a multiplayer
What the fuck is
online
this?
battle arena
Oh.
game forged in the
What?
flames of LAN parties.
What's
Is
happening?
Ringmaster pitching League of Legends
Are
to
you
me right
fucking
now?
kidding
What the
me?
Professional will tell you to play the game well, you need to min-max your characters.
Oh
with
yeah,
the
Huan
best
told me
possible
about this.
fights.
He spoiled me on this.
The
I
worst
just
mistake
blanked
you
that
can
out of my
make is
memory.
being new.
When he said that there was a League of Legends advertisement, I thought it would be like a 3-second bit.
To be fair, it makes sense that Ringmaster would know Jinx's ideal loadouts.
It does make sense that Ringmaster would be cringe enough to play League of Legends, yes.
This includes forced actions, which make you do things you don't want to do.
That's a joke, everyone. I don't actually have any opinions on League of Legends.
I've never played it, and I don't plan to.
Yeah, that's about what I said.
So, there's more to Jinx than what the main games depict. Before her infamous tomfoolery, most people around Zon knew her as an innocent young tinkerer named Powder.
Like pretty much everyone in
That's
the
a
Undercity,
stupid name.
Powder had it rough. She lost her parents in a conflict with enforcers, but had a bit of luck when she joined this cool foster family along with Vi, who was, gasp, her sister all along. If you're wondering what put soap in their opera, Vi was a total badass, and Powder was desperate to also prove herself to her newfound family. And then she made a mistake.
Seemingly abandoned, Powder was left in the hands of the most notorious drug kingpin around. Silco was not the father she needed, but the one she wanted, teaching her to turn her perceived weaknesses into her greatest strengths. Thus, she became Jinx.
Even when the sisters reunited years later, they couldn't fully reconcile, setting up the game.
I'm still gonna watch Arcane.
Yeah,
I meant to watch it in preparation for this. I had a month and I haven't even started.
I need to as well, but I've got other things I need to do.
Which can kill normal people in minutes. After a near-fatal explosion, she was also infused with Shimmer, a toxic strength and speed enhancing drug that permanently altered her body's biochemistry.
I really want them to argue that Jinx surviving in a toxic environment means she can negate the Joker venom, just because it's going to be so funny to imagine them saying that Jinx has any advantage on Superman.
That would be funny.
I would love it.
Even more explosive. I forgot how much I appreciated the explodey options. Anyway,
No, you
Hextech
didn't.
and Chemtech are comparable.
I do like how the League cutscenes look. But that 2D one looked really nice.
Such as lucid singularity, which can totally body these big old rocks.
Measuring their width with Lux's height, we can determine she destroyed almost 13,000 tons of rock from 30 meters away.
Promotional trailers show Mega Death Rocket matching the speed and power of
They've not
Lux's
actually dropped any calcs, have they?
powerful attack that fires a Kamehameha of natural light.
So her rocket is not only super strong, but super fast. From
I appreciate that they're not making it obvious.
But her violet streak grew grim until the day.
Oh wait, no, they calced the tree.
Oh, yeah.
Harley did lift off the ground.
Oh, I'm amazed that she did.
Tempered, control. Thanks to his wisdom.
That's a W over the Beast from Marvel Comics.
And Beast is like a really high tier, street tier character, so that's actually really funny.
Yeah, didn't lift the tree, so...
Apparently, from what I heard, Beast is like the midpoint between the Spider-Man tiers and everyone below that. Like, he's just in the middle, because he's just that strong.
And Goliath is above him, of course.
Well, actually, I think the whole town level. You know what? That's not what you're referring to, so I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah, no end clips. It feels weird.
It does.
Let's Jinx dub. Let's go. I have to root for the character with the magic crystals.
Yeah, but Harley's literally a Batman character. She's directly related to magic crystals.
Does she have the Batman magic crystals?
No, but like Batman's her friend now, apparently, I'd assume. So that means that her friends are magic crystals.
She doesn't have the magic crystals herself, though.
Okay. If Jinx uses magic crystals in the fight, I will root for her.
Good. Well, that's what powers her attack, isn't it?
No, I don't really think they're magic, if it's like powering tech. I mean, I guess it could be. I don't care.
I really like this track. Like, this is the bit of the preview that stuck with me the most.
Hmm.
Look out! She's right behind you!
I still really like this joke. It's been a month and I still laugh at it, god damn it.
If that's the kind of quirky they have, I'll at least go.
You're a real firecracker. Got a light? Oh, sure thing.
What? Okay.
What the fuck? Did...
Spinning time.
Yo, she's doing the Genshin Impact Claymore move. Let's go.
I just saw spinning time. That's all I saw.
I saw Genshin Impact because I have brain rot. My fucking god. I really like how they're using the set piece.
Was that a black metal
for this.
shriek in the middle of that track?
I don't. This is sick. I really like this. Fucking
Okay,
hell.
yeah, I'm rooting for Jinx now. You don't just do that to someone. That's not okay.
Did they just ET?
That's unfortunate.
No, they just did half an ET.
Oh, Mirror Maze. This is gonna get. I hope this gets really fucking trippy.
To make up for it, I got you some nice perfume.
Oh no.
Smells like
Whoa. That was some fucking sick effects there.
and you ain't crazy. You don't have that same smile. I don't need a second opinion.
Is I actually can't tell who's gonna win at this point. Oh wait, is she gonna hit the thing and send Harley's head up to the
Don't you want to get in close and savor my emotions as you deliver the final kill?
they went to
No.
shoot.
Bye.
they just joke or
There's
unbig
Ratio
Joker.
Joker's Sweet Tooth.
Wait, is that it? Jinx stuff?
I mean, I was sort
Holy
of
shit.
I was sort of expecting it.
Don't just stand there, Jinx.
People are gonna be really annoying about this.
Timbers.
Yeah.
This was a complicated fight.
Oh, they
with
brought
far more
that back.
factors to consider than at first.
Yo.
Harley had more direct combat experience.
Resistant
than
to toxins and
superpower
venoms.
beings, along with better training.
But Jinx's
There it is.
physical power,
There
diabolical
it is.
weaponry, and assortment of items were just enough to roast this Harlequin duck.
While Harley lifting over 1,200 pounds is impressive.
Like, this was no Yoda versus Mickey, but I really enjoyed that.
8 times that in the game.
And Jinx can take hits
Yeah, that
from
was
a
good.
guy who can shake mountains. A bit beyond Harley's level of strength.
Harley may have been more naturally
No,
acrobatic,
not gonna
but
comment.
Jinx's hex tech and intangibility matched and outclassed that mobility. The
I'm glad
teleporting tablet
Death
alone
Battle's got the
controlled
groove
entire
back with,
fight, since Jinx
premieres.
could send herself or Harley just about anywhere.
And while Harley had
You mean
a
the
modern
groove they
healing
had
factor,
since
she's
season
never
7?
regenerated entire body parts before.
Season 6, I can't remember his name was good.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry, my mind was thinking Batman vs Black Panther was before that.
Over 13,000 tons of rock from such a
Like,
distance.
So you
they're no
mean,
longer.
you mean the role they've
Like,
been
I
on
want-
for about half the series?
Kilotons of TNT.
What I'm saying is, like, it's no longer, like, a half and half, I guess. It's no longer a 50-50 whether or not they'll get a Batman vs. Black Panther or a Yoda vs. Mickey, I guess.
Weaponry outpace it more than 300 times.
Sure, Harley is legitimately intelligent, but so is Jinx, as evidenced by her inventions and routinely outwitting Vi and her task force. Plus, Jinx is typically distrusting of people she's just met, so Harley's potential mind games were likely to fall on skeptical ears.
Jinx was much more likely to shoot first and ask questions
I don't think she's
later.
dropping any
Now,
games
Harley
on
still
people's
had
ears.
her
That's
wide
stupid.
array of poisons and chemical agents, like the
Squid
Joker,
Games?
which would kill most opponents in minutes. However, after living her whole life in the toxic cesspool
Yes.
of Zon, her tolerance for poisons is clearly much higher than a normal person. Not to mention the Quicksilver Sash
Unlike
could simply
Superman.
end any
Oh.
unwanted effect on
Yo,
her.
I'm not
Jinx
gonna
beat
stop-
Superman.
I'm not gonna
Stand
stop
up.
thinking
Jinx's
about how
physical
funny that
power,
is, just
superior
like out of
technology, or
context. It's not. It's
overwhelmingly
the idea that
explosive arsenal.
oh, you know, Jinx is better against toxins than Superman, who can survive in
Is
space.
Jinx.
Gonna.
Death Battle is
I know what's next, by the way. It's not interesting.
It's Marvel versus DC. Just based on the way you've not mentioned anything positive, that my mind immediately goes to Marvel DC. Like if it was something you didn't like, you'd say you don't like it. And yep, it's Scarlet
Yeah.
vs. Zatanna. And if it was something that at least had a character you were interested in, you'd go like, oh, I don't care about the matchup, but like at least a character I like's getting in. You know, you'd say something positive.
That is how I sound. I'm gonna be like, even if I was interested in a character, it'd be a hard sell to get me interested, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, because usually the way you are, that I noticed, is when you're interested in a matchup, or when you're not interested in a matchup at all, it's probably Marvel DC. If it's two characters you don't know, you'll at least bring up that you're interested to learn about them more often than not. And if it's got a character you like, even if the matchup isn't something you care about, then you'll say, well, at least this character's getting into Death Battle. Like with Poe Iron Fist, that's how you were. You were like, I don't really care about the matchup, but Poe's getting in, so I don't give a shit. That's basically how you were. So there's ways you react, and usually when you react with a completely blank, I don't care, then it's gonna be Marvel DC more often than not.
I mean, season 7 had a few like that. I guess was before we started frequently talking about shit. Like, I didn't give a shit about Grey versus Esdeath, or fucking. I know it's not Marvel versus DC, but Black Canary versus Sindel, or
That's still DC.
but basically, well, it's not Marvel versus DC though. And then, season 7 had quite a few of them. Like, I'm a huge Red versus Blue fan. I didn't give a shit about that episode getting announced.
How many people really did? just
I don't know.
That's like if they're like, oh, check out the new next Death Battle we're doing. It's Avengers versus X-Men.
Rock Lee versus Sanji was another one that got like that exact like completely neutral I don't care reaction out of me. Like, it's not exclusive to comics, it's just that's most of what makes up most of the uninteresting ones to me that they do nowadays.
It's generally safe to bet if you're going to say you don't care and you don't bring up anything redeeming at all, it'll probably be Marvel DC. And in this case, it's Scarlet Witch Zatanna. And
well, I can bring up something redeeming about Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna. It's that they could reference Batman and his magic crystal.
I think Scarlet Witch Zatanna could be a great episode, but that being said, I've already done a video talking about how much I don't care about basically anything they revealed, so like I didn't care about
I do think I think the finale to Harley versus Jinx's animation shows me that like they're not afraid to get like weirder and trippier with the visuals, so I hope they really crank that up to 11 for Witch Zatanna.
I didn't care about Harley Jinx, and the episode was good. I still don't care about the matchup, and I still don't really.
I really hope this doesn't follow the same trend as the first 2 episodes of season 7, because that one was also a Marvel versus DC and a DC versus non-Marvel, and the premiere there was really, really good, and the second episode was not that.
But if they bring up magic crystals, then it's gonna have the same thing of the second episode not very good, but there's a lot of ironic enjoyment, which is something you got from Sindel Canary. So if the episode's bad, but
I'm gonna be honest. When I rewatched Canary versus Sindel for my remastered season 7 video that I'm doing. God, I didn't care. It was really boring. Like there's like 3 lines. And I really don't think 3 lines that I find ironically really funny can save a whole 18-20 minute episode.
I'm realizing that the only thing I remembered from the Harley Jinx analysis was one thing I didn't like, which was the big League of Legends. Oh, look, I fucking love this game. Oh, League of Legends, which just felt really weird and immersion breaking. And the other thing I remember is she lifted the whole tree off the ground, which should not be a point for Death Battle, but I'm gonna give him a point, even though they didn't say it.
Like, the same way that the thing in the Jinx analysis is something I'm getting the points for.
It's not even like, they don't deserve it, but gotta give it. I'll be honest, I would give this episode a 9 out of 10 if Wiz specifically said, and she actually left the whole tree off the ground. Specifically they like that.
They would ratio Beast versus Goliath and Joker versus Sweet Tooth in the same episode, which, like, I already think this is better than both of them. Like, I think this is a good bit better than Joker versus Sweet Tooth, even though I really enjoyed that one.
In my opinion, Joker Sweet Tooth gets worse and worse over time, but I don't actively dislike it. This has the advantage in that Harley Quinn actually used her arsenal, unlike Joker, who basically used what Batman dreamed up of his own arsenal, but if Joker was using it. That's such a weird choice.
I still like think what you said about it being the best you can do with the matchup and not the characters. I still think that holds up.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it is. I mean, technically, I'd say it's technically not, because the best you could do is if Joker was actually using the Joker mobile, like one that actually exists in any continuity. Especially because that would look stupidly funny next to the Sweet Tooth truck. If you had like the big flopping tongue out the front of the Joker mobile, it's like so much bigger than the Arkham ones. It's so stupid.
I can understand. I can understand why they wouldn't though, given like restrictions with models, and also because Torian was already worked down to the bone. He really did not need any more on his plate.
I mean, they weren't making models by season 3, I don't think, so I understand why. But
Yeah.
In a hypothetical world, the best way you could do the matchup is with a proper Joker mobile. But it feels like, if anything, that's probably if anything, it feels like Joker versus Green Goblin should have happened in season 3, and then nowadays we get Joker versus Sweet Tooth, where they could actually make a proper model for the Joker mobile and have like a proper fight.
And also not hit us with the murder, murder, more murder, and a dash of ice cream, which like apparently just completely bastardizes Needle's character. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I know one thing is that Needles apparently outsmarts Calypso at least once, but here's Joker just like, mate, why don't you just come down here and kill me? I mean, you know I've got a fucking, like, weapons all over me that you saw me use when we were fighting together in your truck, but just forget about that, mate. What's the chance that I could have anything else left? Come on, mate. And Needles...
Don't you want to savor all the little emotions? Don't you want to savor them? I don't know why my Joker voice was British there. I don't know why I made him an Englishman.
I mean, I made Joker an Australian, so I feel like that's fair. It's just carrying...
You make everyone an Australian, that's just who you are.
It's not true. I make you a very stupid.
You literally have made me voice an Australian for you twice.
To be fair, that second one, that recent one, I never asked you.
Yeah, but like I saw the opportunity to include "I shake your hand so hard" at the end, and that was all the motivation I needed.
Literally, any time I've ever asked you to send in audio, that opportunity was there. Literally,
Yeah,
right now the opportunity's there, and you've said it too.
I shake your hand so hard. I shake your hand so hard.
It's like going outside and like stealing someone's right shoe. And when they ask, why'd you steal my right shoe? You say, oh, I went outside and I saw the opportunity to steal someone's right shoe. It's like, yeah, you could have done that any time you've gone outside and saw another human being.
Yeah, but it's funny when you least expect it. The fact that I've never done it before, when sending an audio, means your guard was lowered.
I think my only reaction was just... And that's all I had. That's all I had in me. We've not talked about the episode at all, which I think says something. Even though I did like it,
I really enjoyed it. I'm
not gonna say. I'm not gonna say my
tired.
score. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm tired too. Honestly, I'm not gonna say my score until the review. I mean, I'll tell you when we're done recording, but.
I can just say my score right now because I'm not sure if it'll get better or worse on a rewatch, but I'm thinking like an 8. Probably.
That's fair.
I'd have to assume. That was really, really, really good.
I
think it's probably like I just wanted an episode that could top Miles versus Static, even if it couldn't hang with the other 3 top tier premieres, and that's pretty much what we got.
I might be biased to just preferring Miles Static because one went with the aesthetic of Suicide Squad and the other went with the aesthetic of Spider-Verse, and one of those I like so much more that it's not even a contest. I mean, as much as I do like the Suicide Squad, that didn't go for the super annoying scribbly drawings all over the place aesthetic that the first Suicide Squad did.
Yeah, I think it didn't, like, that aesthetic didn't work in the movie, but I think for specifically comic Harley versus Jinx, it seems like it works.
For specifically when she used the Joker Venom, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the other thing I'm always gonna remember from the conclusion is, oh yeah, Jinx over here breathing better than Superman. Gotta love it. Superman, who's been affected by Joker Venom, he has not spent a bunch of time in a bunch of toxins and shit. What do you mean cosmic What do you mean there's radiation in space? Don't be a fucking idiot, okay? Doesn't exist.
Are those 2 sets of lungs? She must have 4 times the breathing. It really is that easy.
Honestly, genuinely, that line or some variant of it would make so much more sense with these characters than with someone who's actually intelligent, like Mikasa.
Are you saying they're not intelligent? They're probably both smarter than Mikasa.
As in, like, how do I put it? Someone who's not batshit
Composed.
insane. Someone who's not
Get more.
batshit insane.
Makes sense.
Someone who can count to 3 without breaking something.
Okay, but consider that Mikasa would have gone criminally insane because she is in Blake versus Mikasa. That's enough to drive anyone to insanity.
She does share a universe with Ruby now, so yeah, I would.
That's an L. That's such an L.
It is a huge L. And it's just like the L she took to Blake. I'm as much as I love Final Fantasy, I'm now starting to appreciate the fact that Yang won just so I can't look back and say Blake's the only member of Team Ruby that won.
Yeah.
Maka even with Soul Eater ending, Maka, like, having ended a while ago, Maka just got buffed to, like, planet.
To star level or something.
Yeah, she can downscale from potentially star. Fucking
highly upsetting that currently the only Ruby character to have lost is my favorite of the main 4.
That is true. That is true. I can say the same thing. I can at least say that thanks to Ruby Abridged, Weiss is not better in every way to Ruby for me, but I don't think it's really an award to say, oh, I have more fun in a fan project voicing this character than the other. That's a point for Ruby. I don't think that's how that works. It's like going, oh, I've got an action figure of Ruby, and for Weiss I've got a printed out piece of paper and I prefer the action figure. That's a point. I actually have got a vinyl of Ruby, just not the Funko one that actually looks good.
Yeah. I will have to head out in like the next 5 or so minutes, so we might need to start wrapping up here.
Fair enough. So that was that. That was a fuck. That
was a good episode. And Batman's had a slur in it, so that's docking points immediately. Can't believe it.
That was a good episode that we reacted to for Harley Quinn from famous.
React is a very strong word now.
Yeah, we sort of just made stupid jokes along the way.
Ooh, Magic Crystal. I have this has just
she
been
actually
talking
lifted
about
the whole
fucking
tree
Magic
off the
Crystal.
ground. I like that the feat they had to use was specifically, explicitly, it's Harley holding the entire thing off the ground. That's what made it funny to me.
I eagerly await the compilation of this highlight reel that is just us talking about magic crystals, because I'm really curious about how long it was.
Oh no. What's amusing to me, just quickly, is that not long ago I was in a conversation where someone was where one of the researchers was talking about how the golden tree argument they used made no sense, because reasonably, if the characters couldn't get out from under it, Beast would have to be supporting the majority of the weight if they're to get out anyway. So it doesn't even make sense, the argument. But I'm glad Harley got to pick up a whole tree up the ground. That makes me happy. The fact that she was barely wearing anything probably made a bunch of other people happy, and I don't care.
Yeah, again, I wasn't there for the Ducko Adam highlight reel, if they were even in it. I don't actually know who was there. And I'm so glad I missed out on all the scrummy moments now.
You'll just hear the phantom laugh of a bird going, eh, eh, eh. just that whole second. So yeah, that was a fucking video. Alright, bye.
Goodbye.
There you go. You did it. Have a good one, fellas.